Welcome to episode 4 of the Out of the Box talk here at mediaBOX. Today I'm sitting down with Otto Schwimbeck. Otto is head of social media and he has taken up the challenge to manage all our social media activities. Otto, please introduce yourself. How did you end up here?
How did I end up here? That's a really good question. I think I've always kind of had a passion for creativity, kind of like, thinking out of the box, writing, so to say. I mean, I studied history at university. So I think that was always something in my mind, ending up in a job where I was producing creative content and that sort of stuff, I guess. So in one of my first jobs out of university, I had a lot of responsibility doing social media stuff. And I thought, I want to, do, I really enjoyed it. I took to it quite quickly and I thought I want to do more of this stuff. So when I saw the opening here at mediaBOX, I thought I might as well give it a shot. As much as I think it's a new kind of chapter in mediaBOX's kind of life in a way of, obviously doing more social media stuff. I think it's also a good opportunity for me to start that, clean slate with my own kind of clean slate, if you like, as well.
Yeah. You mentioned it's been a clean slate because we've been producing a lot for our customers.
Yeah.
And not doing much communication activity for ourselves. So, how did you start the whole project?
I obviously did a lot of thinking, and I sort of learned a bit more about mediaBOX as a company. Kind of what mediaBOX, obviously, mediaBOX is a filming TV company, produces, mainly short films, adverts for its clients. But what really is I guess, like the culture of mediaBOX. And I sort of set out with a vision for social media. What do I want to do with social media? Obviously, we want to attract clients. We want to also take on more freelancers. We're quite dependent on freelancers. We always, want to increase our sort of pool of different people we can take on so we can, do more work, mainly for our clients. And I thought, right, okay, so how are we going to communicate the messages? So I decided that I wanted to sort of break it down into what I call the 3 shows. So firstly, showing what we do, sharing our content, and giving it kind of the platform that I think it, really deserves. So it might not be directly posting the stuff that we produce straight to our YouTube channel. It might be sharing a LinkedIn post, for example, from one of our clients who might have the video that we produce for them. So yeah, showing what we do and then also showing how we do it. So kind of giving you like an insight into, for example, how we, set up a studio, for example, the equipment that we might use, even stuff like, a day in the life of a mediaBOX cameraman. And then finally showing who we are. So showing really our company culture, kind of showing that we're, always ready to adapt to new trends, how we work sort of flexibly out of the box with our clients. And yeah, I'd say I guess I'd break all of our activity in social media into sort of those 3 what I call the 3 shows.
That's interesting. How you set about doing this practically?
Yeah, so of course, a lot of my job revolves around actually posting stuff. And what makes posting stuff easier is using a management tool. So we at mediaBOX use Hootsuite as our management tool, and that makes it really easy to post content and to basically manage 6 platforms in one go. Initially, we used a platform called Agorapulse, which was I found really, really good. But Hootsuite kind of had a bit more that we were sort of looking for. So Hootsuite made things kind of like a lot easier in the sense of having a built-in AI tool for copywriting, which makes my job in a lot of ways much easier. So say, for example, I want to post something on all of our platforms, but I want to do it in sort of different ways. I can ask the AI to tailor that to suit different platforms. So, I mean, there's a massive difference, for example, between Instagram, LinkedIn, and Twitter, or sorry, should I say X, as it's now called.
So any trends? Which kinds of posts do really perform well?
I think the trends that I've noticed so far is that a lot of the posts gaining traction are the posts kind of showing behind the scenes content really at mediaBOX. So not just, sharing kind of like what, the actual work that we're doing, but also, showing kind of like behind the scenes content, more what it's like to, work at mediaBOX and, a day in the life, for example, at mediaBOX, or showing, our equipment, showing kind of like us setting up a studio. I remember one post I made on Instagram that was literally titled "Behind the Scenes" at a Messe, gained quite a lot of traction. A lot of people nowadays who might be interested, say, in working for a company might not look at the traditional kind of like areas that someone looking for a job might have looked for previously. They might look at now, social media, for example. I know for myself from previous job searches, that's one thing that I've always looked at. And I think a lot of people kind of now want to sort of see the company culture in that as well. So obviously us, trying to show our company culture, show who we are, get that across as well. I think that's had a lot of success kind of like in the posts that we've made.
You've gone some untraditional paths too. We're a company that produces mainly for corporate customers. So you might think of traditional social media platforms like Facebook and Twitter or X. You might think of Instagram maybe because you're kind of cool, but a corporate service provider would not typically think of TikTok, for example. Yet you took the company to TikTok. Why is that?
Yeah, so that was actually one of the first questions I asked myself as well, as looking into kind of like a wider sort of strategic goal for mediaBOX was, is TikTok an untapped resource for us? And I dived into the stats a little bit. I mean, TikTok generally, it's got over 1 billion users, but it's quite interesting because around 15% of businesses are actually on TikTok. There's more businesses on Pinterest, which is under half of the number of users TikTok has. And I think what's also really important for us is, we want to obviously interact with our clients and corporate clients over, whatever sites they use. So mainly LinkedIn, Twitter or X or Instagram as well. But I think TikTok gives us a different platform in the sense that we can interact with perhaps a younger audience. 80% of TikTok users are aged between 18 and 34. So it really gives us that kind of like unique opportunity to do that. Per user, German users spend the 4th most amount of time on TikTok in the world. That's 20% more than the average rate. So the chances are we're going to basically reach someone who's, fairly young, well, aged between 18 and 34, and is also German as well. So it was kind of, I'd say, a unique opportunity that I wanted to take as well. TikTok, I think, is a great site to kind of show your company culture and show that to maybe a younger person who might not want to look at the traditional methods or the traditional kind of like platforms for researching a company when they might be interested in working somewhere.
So what other trends are there within social media marketing right now?
Yeah, Twitter or X, there's this kind of like idea that it's been on the decline kind of in the last year. I saw one stat that read that something like 98% of all tweets are produced by 20% of users, and 25% of those users, so 5% of all Twitter users, responsible for almost a quarter of all posts, are considering quitting the platform, which is obviously worrying news for Twitter and X. But I think we sort of need to see how that plays out and adapt to those trends kind of like as we move forward. One other interesting thing is the threads. Threads now isn't kind of like being talked about as much as it was, say, a month ago. But Threads is still definitely a hot topic. Threads is a platform like quite similar to Twitter and X, which theoretically could have potential to replace Twitter. But I guess we need to see again how that goes. mediaBOX, us, unfortunately, we haven't had the opportunity to go onto Threads just yet because Threads violates certain EU privacy acts. So unfortunately, it's not accessible in the EU. Hopefully it will at some stage be accessible to us, and obviously we'd try and get straight on that and kind of like see the wider potential of Threads, and then hopefully do something with it moving forward.
So finally, what do you enjoy most about the work here?
Yeah, I'd say firstly getting to work with all sorts of different people. So working with editors through to cameramen through to directors. I think also another thing is, I guess, just having that responsibility of sharing the work that we do. I think I really want to give it, as much of a big platform kind of as possible. And I guess what comes with that is kind of like the creativity, which is, I alluded to that at the start. I really enjoy being creative. I I guess, enjoy sharing our the work that we do, in a really creative and creative way, be it through posting our stuff directly, or also kind of like showing our work from a different perspective. So, for example, from our client's perspective, which is why I started the client testimonial series that we ran in July and August. So I think the creativity that comes with my job is something that I also really, really enjoy.
So I've got one last question for you. From your previous job experiences, what sets us apart from the average company out there?
It's something that I've repeated numerous times here, but I'd say being out of the box. So really being adaptive to our clients' needs, and kind of like not really having a set sort of like we only produce this sort of material. We can work with lots and lots of different companies. We worked on lots of different trade fairs as well, from free, which is obviously related to travel and sort of leisure, all the way to something like Automatica, with a focus on robotics and AI. So I think generally just the flexibility of the company to work with all sorts of different clients, and never really say no, is something that I think really sets mediaBOX apart.
Yeah, thanks. That's what I was hoping you're gonna say, basically. Because I guess that's really what the company is all about. Really trying to push ourselves and learn new things and try new things out, and always be there for our customers, no matter what. Thank you very much for this conversation. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you next time at the Out of the Box talk here at mediaBOX.